know me, I am from the Peoria, Illinois area, and I decided I'm going to do some lives in this group every Friday or Saturdays, depending on whatever works for you guys. Either or works. So usually Fridays around 11 is what I have planned, but if you think Saturdays would be better for you guys, just leave that in the comments and let me know. You can always rewatch this as a replay. It will save to this group as well. So I thought I would just start with an introduction about myself and answer some frequently asked questions that I've been asked. So one question I get asked a lot, of course, is what type of art and crafts do I like? So I am into quilling a lot. I love different types of paper crafting. Also painting, acrylic painting was kind of like my first love. I also have been getting into watercolor painting and would love to try some oil. I really don't do a whole lot of physical oil paintings at the moment. I also enjoy drawing, so I do pencil drawing, basically some ink, but mostly pencil. Wood crafts, so I love making things with lasers, wood burning, making signs, different kind of like wood projects are a lot of fun for me. And then right now I'm really obsessed with digital art, so I love using Procreate. Is one of my favorite tools. I used to use Photoshop a lot, but Procreate with the iPad is one of my favorite digital drawing tools. And I'm also kind of really into AI art, image generation. So I love using Midjourney is kind of my favorite tool right now. Basically I use it for more inspirational purposes than actually creating a finished piece with the AI art. But yeah, it's kind of fun to get my ideas and inspiration kind of into a visual form before I even like go farther with it to make art. So another question I'm frequently asked is, so how did I get into art and crafting? Well, I use art and crafting as a outlet of both kind of like therapeutic outlet. It's kind of for more like kind of helps me like put away like all of the other thoughts, and it gives me something to focus in on. I also use it as a means of self-expression, to put things into a visual format that I'm not usually able to with words. Basically, I do have a lot of trouble with words, and I tend to ramble on and such. A lot of it has to do, like, as I was growing up, I, really struggled. I was really a quiet person. And I basically, I had learning struggles. I really didn't fit in anywhere. And, I had a few friends, but, I was pretty much, a very quiet, reserved, introverted person. And it wasn't until adulthood that I finally figured out that I'm actually autistic and ADHD and dyspraxic and dyslexic and have anxiety disorders. So all of that combined, really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And as I was, really struggling with things in high school, I started turning to art and crafting. So I found art, as something that I was finally good at and something I could really, help define myself. It was a way to like get to know myself and a way to also connect with others, I think. I had something in common with other people in the art classes, and we could, chat about this stuff for hours. And I think part of me just really came alive when I started discovering art and crafting. How did I come up with the idea for DIYvinci? Yeah, so for DIYvinci, I started coming up with the idea back when, I think it was about about 6, almost 7 years now. Um, Basically at work, a lot of my coworkers would notice, my creativity. I would hang up some of my art stuff, or they would always pick me for different like fun creative projects to do. So I was always like known as the creative person, and I would frequently hear from them that they wish they could be creative like me. They're like, "Oh, that is so cool. That looks so fun. I wish I was creative. I wish I could draw like that. I wish I could do that." And part of me was like, well, why not? Well, why can't you? It's I know, some people are like feel like if they're not born with talent, they can't be creative. And personally, I don't believe this. I believe that creativity is something we all have. It's what we were kind of created with, and it's something that is just a skill that you need to learn and practice in order to become better at it. So basically from this I was kind of like, well, maybe they need some more direction, maybe they need some guidance. So I basically decided from there to create DIY crafting kits, and these kits would include, in my mind, all of the supplies and tools and instructions needed to make this particular craft, because I figured if they had this guidance from step one to the end of the project, and they could see that this project actually turned out good. Oh, I can make this, I can do this if I just had this little bit of guidance. So that's kind of where like DIYvinci began to form. I had the idea of crafting kits. So we did start with that. We started with some crafting kits, and then from there I kind of realized, some of us, we don't always need the instructions, start from finish in a kit necessarily. Or there's just something, in general we just need one supply for. So I decided to add on individual craft supplies. And so from there we kind of grew to a full retail store. So now we offer individual supplies, we offer crafting kits, and we also have added on digital assets. So if you're into like digital art like I am, there are different clip arts or templates, or a bunch of different digital assets that you can download to help add to your art as well. So the next question I was asked was, what does creativity means to me? I kind of mentioned this already, but I believe it's really a part of how we are created, and every human being has some form of creativity. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be, drawing. It can be, just coming up with an idea that's different and helps like express a part of you that you really enjoy. I kind of view creativity as another form of communication. So for me, it's very much like a visual language. So it's basically really a form, also like expression or reflection even of yourself. So it's just like a tiny piece of your soul that you kind of put out into a visual format. So from your brain to a piece of paper, and it kind of lets other people see, just a little bit more of you. I also find creativity to be an awesome means to connect with people around the world. I've met a lot of people online, I wouldn't have otherwise, through different creative platforms, which is so cool because even if you don't speak the same language, you can still see, what they are talking about, what they're trying to express through their art. So there's always that connection through, a visual means, and why I, say it's a visual language. So some people have asked, what does DIYvinci offer, and how can DIYvinci help me with my creativity? So, as I mentioned before, DIYvinci offers crafting kits and individual art supplies. So like the crafting kits, as I said, has the instructions, the supplies, and usually meant to make a very specific type of craft or to start learning a new skill, such as macrame. You've never done macrame before, then trying a kit would definitely be a help. And then of course the individual art supplies, we have like stuff like paint, tape, pencils, kits, pastel chalk, so a whole bunch of different things. And then we also of course have the digital assets such as quilling templates, clip art, all of those different things. And we have recently added on online courses. So I am teaching a few of these courses. I haven't quite completed some of them, but they are, a few modules are up, so you can see those. There is 1 or 2 free classes available, so if you'd like to check those out, they are a compilation of basically tutorials that from around YouTube that I've put into a flow, so you can like learn. I think one of them is like learning the introduction to drawing, so learning the basics of pencil drawing and some of the terminology around that. Also, with the courses, we are opening it up to others who are interested in teaching courses. So if you are interested in that, definitely go check that out on the website. We are looking for creative people to create a class, and we offer 80-20 split, so of each purchase. So you make the 80%, we get 20 for helping to advertise your class. So it's a great way to earn a little bit of extra income if you're into that. We also have a free online community. So it's very much kind of like a Facebook, but it is directly on our website, and it offers a a different platform. It's very creative specific. So if you're not into the whole drama of Facebook or Twitter or whatever happens to be going on, and you just want to focus on creativity, definitely come see our group and check it out. We will be having different challenges on there as well as in this group. So I would be really excited to have you come join and chat with me there. We also have a new design tool. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Canva, but we have like a very mini version of Canva now available on our website. This is for DIYvinci Pro members, and basically you can design digital tools. So you can design like social media tools, or print business cards, anything really. But I'm going to be making templates specifically for mood boards that you can use to help inspire different pieces. We will also be working on some other cool inspirational tools coming up. I am really excited about these. We're working on a mood board generator, so if you're just kind of like stuck and you're not sure what type of art you're wanting to create, this generator will produce a variety of images, and hopefully something from there will kind of like inspire you to add either like the color scheme, the overall mood of the photo. I definitely think this generator will be pretty awesome. We're also possibly working on a color palette generator, so if you're looking for a specific color theme and you're not totally sure what you want, or what you could try and you're looking for a challenge, that generator possibly will be coming in a few months, so pretty excited for that. Any other questions? Let's see. Nope, I don't see any. Well, I would really love to get to know you all, so feel free to introduce yourself in the comments of this video or create a post in this group and tell me a little bit about yourself. You could even do a video or a live or anything you'd like just to share about yourself, and I'd love to know, how did you get into crafting? How did that become a hobby for you, or why are you looking into becoming or getting into creativity and crafting? So if you could answer that, that'd be awesome. Also, be sure to check out our group on the actual website. I would love to chat with you there as well. I'm usually on there daily, so feel free to connect with me and ask any questions you may have. And as I said before, I'm going to be trying to do a live every Friday. I'm going to be doing some crafting projects coming up soon in a couple weeks, and or just kind of like explaining different things, that trends and such, things going on behind the scenes with DIYvinci. And if you have anything that you want me to talk about or answer, feel free to add that to the comments as well, and I will consider that for the next live. So thank you all for attending and watching the replay, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend and Thanksgiving holiday. Bye.